This is the output of 800,000 live human brain cells running my code right now. They're not in my house. They're in a lab in Melbourne, Australia, connected to the cloud. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can write your first program for a biological computer using the same SDK that just shipped, that anyone can install today. But first, let me back up. There is this company called Cortical Labs, and they take human stem cells and reprogram them into actual living neurons and grow about 800K of them on a silicon chip. The chip sends electrical signals to the neurons fire back. And this is the cool part. Those firing patterns can be used as a programmable substrate. They learn and adapt. You can train them to play Pong and Doom. And now you can rent them. $300 per week per unit, or you could buy the hardware for $35,000. Pretty hefty. But both options are real and both are shipping today. But I want to be clear, this isn't a thought experiment. They have an actual Python SDK, which I installed, and we're going to write code that runs on real biological neurons. And we're going to talk about what that means in a lot of dimensions. The modern story starts with Brett Kagan and the DishBrain project in 2022. This was the first time neurons were trained to play Pong in a closed loop. And that matters because traditional silicon AI is trained on data. You give it examples, you optimize weights, and then you deploy the model. You guys know the dance. But these cells are different. They learn in real time through electrical feedback. They are not a normal CPU or a GPU. They are living cells adapting to signals. And the energy difference is insane. 800,000 neurons consume roughly the power of an LED. A comparable silicon AI system uses orders of magnitude more energy. That doesn't mean this replaces GPUs tomorrow, and it also doesn't mean your next laptop has a brain inside of it, but it does mean that this is genuinely different. This is a new computing substrate. Okay, now we have to talk about the ethics. These are not conscious brains. They are cultured neuron clusters. They don't have a body. They don't have senses. They're not sitting there thinking thoughts. But the fact that I even have to say that tells you how strange this field is. The line matters, and the definitions really matter. We should be talking about this right now while the technology is still early. In 2025, Cortical Labs launched CL1, the first commercial biocomputer. The first batch had 115 units, priced at $35,000 each, and now they have a cloud version. It's wetware-as-a-service. And that is what makes this video possible. You don't need to own the machine. You can build locally with their SDK simulator, and if you have access, deploy to the real biological hardware. So how does this all actually work? At the center is a chip called a multi-electrode array. Imagine a grid of tiny electrodes sitting underneath a living culture of neurons. Those electrodes can record spikes from the neurons, and they can also stimulate the neurons with electrical signals. The system listens, computes a response, sends stimulation back, and the neurons adapt. The loop is simple but powerful. Detect a spike, compute a response, stimulate a channel, and watch the neurons reorganize. Repeat. That closed loop is the entire magic trick. It's not just passive recording, it's interaction. The cells are receiving feedback from the code, and the code is responding to the cells. The life support system keeps the cells alive. Temperature, nutrients, waste filtering, the whole biological infrastructure. Cortical Labs says the cultures can stay viable for up to 6 months. So this is not just a dish in a lab. This is a living computing system with hardware, software, biology, and cloud infrastructure all connected. And from the developer side, the SDK abstracts most of that away. You open a connection, you record activity, you run a loop, you stimulate channels, and the same API works against the real hardware or the local simulator. If you have the hardware, this code runs on real neurons, and if you don't, The simulator gives you the same API surface backed by Poisson spike distributions. You can build everything locally first, then deploy to the cloud. But quick pause. When I started researching this video, I hit a problem every developer hits when the topic is bleeding edge. I needed live Google Scholar results on biological computing papers, which means I needed Google News alerts on Cortical Labs. But I also needed Reddit threads and Hacker News discussions on every angle. I was trying to synthesize it. And the moment you try to scrape that data with a raw HTTP request, Google captures you in like 3 seconds. And that's where SERP API comes in. And they're sponsoring this video, which I'll be transparent about. SERP API is a real-time search API. You make a GET request, you get back structured JSON from Google, Google Scholar, Google News, Bing, anywhere. No CAPTCHAs, no proxy management, no parsing brittle HTML. Every paper I cite in this video came through SERP API's Scholar engine. Every news story I link came through their news engine. It saved me probably 5 or 6 hours of manual research and 0 CAPTCHAs. Get started with the SERP API using 250 free credits by clicking the link in the description or scanning the QR code on the screen. Now, back to brain cells. Let's build the simplest possible biological computer program. First, install the SDK, pip install cl-sdk, that's it. The SDK ships with a simulator. You can build everything locally, no $35,000 hardware required. Next, we open a connection. We import CL, open the connection, and print the number of active channels. This either connects to the local simulator, or if you have CL1 hardware or a cloud subscription, to a real culture in Melbourne. Same API both ways. Now, we record a baseline. We tell the neurons to record for 5 seconds, stop the recording, and print how many spikes we captured. 5 seconds of pure recording, just listening to the neurons being neurons. Already, we're seeing a pattern. Burst spikes, quiet periods, channel-specific firing. Now we do the closed loop. For every tick in the neuron loop, I look for spikes. When a spike appears on one channel, I simulate the next channel. And this is the magic of biological computing in one for loop. I detect the spike, I stimulate a different channel, the neurons receive my simulation, and they learn. And over the next few seconds, this is the part that messes with me. The firing patterns reorganize around my simulation pattern. The neurons are literally adapting to my code. Now let's try a more practical experiment. I want to train the neurons to anticipate. So channel A fires, then 100 milliseconds later, channel B gets stimulated, and then I repeat that pattern. A, then B, then A, then B. And after 30 seconds of training, I remove the explicit simulation on B and watch what happens. This is a substrate question. Are these neurons just reacting, or are they actually learning to predict? After 30 seconds of training, I lift the explicit stimulation on B and watch the activity. If B starts firing after A without me forcing it, that suggests the culture has learned part of the pattern. And if it doesn't, that's also useful. This is real experimentation. You don't fake the results, you observe the system. And here's the coolest part. Even in simulator mode, we can build the full software pattern, which means we can write the loop, we can define the stimulus, we can record activity, we can visualize the channels. Then when cloud access is available, the same structure can run on the biological substrate. So what does all of this change? I think there are 3 big takeaways. 1, this is a new computing substrate, not a faster CPU, not a bigger GPU, living cells that compute by adapting. The energy difference alone is wild. Biological neurons run on roughly the power of a small LED. A comparable silicon AI system needs far more energy. If biocomputers scale, the energy economics of AI could change dramatically. 2, the ethics window is open right now. These are not conscious brains, they're cultured neurons, but the field is moving fast and the question of where the line is needs to happen now, not after products ship. Cortical Labs publishes their ethics framework. I encourage you to read it, form an opinion. Don't wait until the technology is everywhere to decide what you think. And 3, This is buildable today. The SDK is on PyPI, the simulator is free, the cloud unit is $300 per week, which sounds like a lot until you compare it to renting high-end AI compute for a serious training run. If you want to be early on the substrate, you can be early today. Try the SDK, run the simulator, build your own closed loop. Whatever you build, drop it in the comments and I will respond to the most interesting ones with a follow-up video. And make sure to check out SERP API. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives like this. Until next time, happy building.